Welcome back to Here's Next Door. Thank you all for joining us. Today we are in Plainfield, Michigan. We're doing Station 3, which is their headquarters. So let's go take a look. So we're going to be meeting up with the chief today. He's going to be walking us around.
Welcome to Plainfield Fire. Come on in.
All right, thank you. Thank you for inviting us in.
No problem. Thanks for coming, Mike. Appreciate it.
You know, as a lot of our viewers know, I grew up in Michigan, so I've been traveling back and forth a couple of times, and we've had a lot of fans reach out to us and say, hey, Plainfield Fire Department's an excellent fire department. You've had a couple fairly new buildings, and they wanted to see it. So thank you for opening your doors and allowing us to come in.
Hey, no problem. Glad to have you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself real quick.
Yeah, I started in the fire service when I was 16 years old. Worked up through the ranks, a couple different departments. Landed here in Plainfield about 17 years ago. Worked my ranks up through Plainfield Township, and currently I'm the chief as of June.
All right. Well,
Very
congratulations for the promotion.
Thank you.
And I've been doing some research. Your first name is Kyle. Last name, how do you pronounce that?
It's Czechoslovakian. It's Svoboda.
All right. Thank you.
Kyle's fine,
Kyle's
by the way.
fine.
Yes.
All right. All right. I took a look on the outside of the building already. It's a gorgeous building. It looks like you also have like a training center off to the side. But we're really interested in what you have in here and how it's all set up.
Absolutely. So our campus, we call it, does have two facilities on it. We have our main station here, which has a bunch of trucks in it. And then we have a training facility, which used to be an old building from back in the day, used to be part of the mall, that they've converted into a training center for us. So yeah, this is our meat and potatoes. What we do is this building here with all of our stuff.
That's awesome.
By design.
And out front, it says this is also the administrative building. Are we allowed to take a look at that? Because, you know, we know as fire department personnel, we wouldn't have a job if we didn't have a good administration. So we'd like to kind of highlight those a little bit too.
Absolutely. So we have an administration upstairs, and then downstairs is all of our day-to-day operations. So yeah, absolutely. We're going to take a look at the entire facility, see who does what and where everybody's at.
Awesome. All right, I'll follow you. If you don't mind, we'll start upstairs.
Sounds good. Actually, can we start down in the
Sure.
main room here? So what we have in this building is everything's really by design and by intention. We're here because the community exists. It's not because we want jobs. We obviously get paid for what we do, but everything is by design. So we start with our wall of saves. We represent our community on this wall for the people that we've saved in the last few years. And then as we're walking through the building, you might see some things very intentional about who we are, what our expectations are from the community, and then what our expectations are of our, we call it our family, but our employees here as well.
I love the fact that you put that right in the foyer area because, like you said, when the community comes to this door, they're going to see that right away, and it's the expectations of the employees. They know exactly what they need to do and how to act and take care of people.
Yep, and it came from the community. It was all input from the community and our members themselves. Right. So yeah, let's go upstairs.
Your wall is definitely huge for the saves. That's something to be said.
Yeah, we do a lot with our community, and they get to come in anytime they want to see it. It's kind of, again, it's about them. It's not really about us. It's all on them, so we like to showcase that.
Absolutely.
So, come on upstairs.
All right. So, Chief, the one thing I noticed as we're coming up the stairs, very unique staircase because you have the traditional diamond plate on the staircase. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that. Yeah. It definitely gives you that firehouse feel. Yeah,
that's good with wear and tear as well. The whole, like I said, the building is intentional about everything that we do here, and so that's just kind of one of those things that we like to showcase. Is it's good for wear and tear, and it also has a meaning to it as well.
Right. So these are some of your past chiefs.
Absolutely. So we got past chiefs. Believe it or not, I'm only the fourth or fifth chief that we've had in this organization. So we're a pretty young department, so to speak. That's kind of unique. It's kind of awesome. And then we've got some of our old fire stations. We used to have 3. We're down to 2.
Okay.
So what's unique about this station, it's number 3, and our other station's number 1. We don't have a 2. So that's kind of something of fun with us is we don't have a 2. Right. It is what it is. So it's our headquarters, and it works for us. So we like it. So yeah, this is kind of where we showcase some of the older memorabilia and some of the history of the organization.
Right. And that's going to continue to grow as time goes on, and you'll be up there soon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So as we come into our administrative offices, we've got 2 important individuals up here today. We've got Kathy, who's our administrative assistant.
Nice to meet you, Kathy.
Nice to meet you.
I think I spoke to you on the phone.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, thank you for helping me get this all together. We really appreciate it.
Nothing gets done without Kathy being here. So I like to say I'm the boss, but she's the real boss of the fire department. So it's great. And then on the end here, we've got Jessica. We have a unique program here at Plainfield Fire. It's our life safety program. and she runs the life safety program underneath the fire marshal's office. So
Jessica, nice to meet you. Thank you for your service. So tell me a little bit more about that, because that seems pretty unique.
Yeah, so we found that the more we can interact with the community in a positive light, the less calls that we run to the certain individuals that might use our services. So I can keep asking for more and more staffing, but at the end of the day, they only have so much money. So if we can get their preventative side, and it actually reduces our call volume, that helps us as well.
So it's kind of like a hybrid community paramedicine program.
Absolutely. So this program, we actually partner up with our ALS partners, and sometimes we'll go into the communities. One of our private ambulance services has a community paramedicine type program, and so sometimes we will send members over to them as well to try to get the preventative side.
It's really progressive to have the fire department joining that, and that's one of the things that we like to see is the collaboration between different services. You don't have EMS here in your building, so you work with a third-party EMS provider, so having that relationship is very important across the board.
Correct, yeah, so we're EMT basic, so we are non-transport, like you'd mentioned, and so it's important for us to try to reduce some of the call lines. We figured, working with our partners is the best option for doing that.
That's awesome. And the other thing I noticed as soon as we walked in, this is an awesome design. It almost feels like a architectural firm up here. It's very kind of modern. When was the building built?
So the building was built about 20 years ago, so 2004.
Okay.
I was not here yet. I was still working somewhere else when it was built. But yeah, it is very modern, very open. It's kind of got a big circle around it so you can walk around the entire facility. And that's kind of how it's designed even downstairs where the crews are working. And everything goes out to the bay itself.
Okay. So how many line officers do you have here? Do you have battalions and chiefs and all that kind of stuff? What's your structure?
So our structure is, as I mentioned, we have 2 stations. So at each station, we have a lieutenant, equipment operator, and a firefighter on each day. The equipment operator and lieutenant are full-time, and we staff uniquely with a part-time firefighter as well. And then between both stations, we'll have what we call a district chief, which is a battalion chief in many locations.
Okay.
So on any given day, we'll have 7 is what we like to go for, but we might go down to 5 per day. And then we also have a fire chief and an assistant chief on Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday, depending on what's going on for the week.
Sure.
And then we also have a fire marshal who's also full-time.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty unique too, to have the fire marshal and all those different services underneath one building and one department.
Absolutely.
Many times as we travel the country, we see them kind of separated into different buildings and departments across the board. So
yeah, one of our goals is to maintain open communication between all divisions, so you don't have that, hey, you work on the prevention side, you work on the operations side, and how we kind of work those together is actually have them working in the same offices right next to each other, and we have meetings quite frequently too to try to figure out how to make sure that they're all working together as one team.
Okay. Do you have any volunteers in the department, or is it all paid across the board?
So everybody's paid, no volunteers. We used to have what we call paid on call, where they could come back to the station. We changed that to part-time, so any part-time employee or full-time employee can come back and we have the major calls. So we did do away with the paid on call model, but it's a part-time, it's very similar.
Sure. Now, if I'm interested in coming back, maybe I moved back to Michigan and hey, I want to join the fire department. How would I go ahead and get a hold of you? Is there a website? Is there a Facebook page? Or something like that for an application?
Absolutely. So we do post on our Facebook page every now and then when we're looking to fill those ranks. We also look inside and outside for full-time as well. And then if you want to do like a part-time program, you could get on our website at plainfieldmi.org and find the fire department side, and our applications are right there.
Awesome. Let's take a look around the building.
All right. So this has the best view in the house. They get to look right outside the apparatus bay. I think it's kind of unique again to this fire station. We got these big glass windows and
right, and a large apparatus bay. So the viewers that are here right now definitely pay attention, because we're going to end there. So make sure you stay to the end of the video. But before we continue on, do us a favor, hit subscribe, hit notification, make a comment below. I know it's early in the video, but we like to hear from you guys.
So as we walk our way to the back side of the office here, we've got all rooms. And so we've got Assistant Chief here, Assistant Chief Dave Pelton. He's
Hello.
new to our department, been here, it's his 3rd week.
Okay.
We actually increased some ranks and brought on an Assistant Chief to help out. So welcome, Dave. Glad to have you here on the story.
Nice to meet you, Dave. Thank you for inviting us in.
And then as we walk down here, you're going to know we kind of stole this from Grand Rapids. We kind of visited them a little bit of figuring out, hey, where are we in metrics wise? How can we improve ourselves? How can we improve in the services we give to the community? And so this is what we call our Managing for Daily Improvement wall. And so anybody at any time that works here can come up and see where we're at on certain things, whether it be training, our response, where we're at, how many smoke alarms we've installed through our life safety program. It's wide open for anybody, which is kind of cool that we're able to do that.
That's good to know, because even your employees can come up and take a look at that. Many times the administration kind of separates themselves from the employees. We don't really know where we're going, but to have something like this is really cool to see.
Absolutely. Not only do we see that from the administration and down, but we also see it from shift to shift to shift. So as this board shows you, we've got each shift has its own run of what their projects they're working on, accomplishments that they may have had, what they want to share with other teams. And so we'll showcase that as well when we do our monthly walk through this, which is kind of unique. I think it's kind of cool to help build those relationships.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Yep. Fire marshal's office back there, he's out all the time, so he's gone. And this would be like our district chief's office here. They have an office at both facilities, one at our other station, Station 1, and then one at Station 3 here. They, depending on what they have going on for the day, they may work at either one.
Okay.
And then lastly, the fire chief's office in the corner here.
Do you mind, can we take a look at your
Let's
office?
go take a look at the office.
This is a nice little office. Got a nice corner, good windows.
You've got great windows. I saw when you guys came in. I got some greenery. My wife told me you got to keep them live. They're for the home, but in the wintertime we bring them in here a little bit to liven it up. So yeah, it's a nice office. I like to say I spend a little more time in it than what I do, but meetings, you know, you're kind of out and about quite frequently. So
yeah, you definitely moved in quite nicely since June. So.
Appreciate that.
Looks like you got a little dog bed.
Absolutely. So when I got promoted, there was a couple of things that Kathy wanted, and she wanted to see my dog once in a while. So I bring in the dog. We can't have a station dog. We can't keep a goldfish alive, but I do try to bring in my dog at least once a week. So he runs around, and he kind of brings some joy to the office, which is exciting.
Now, I did a video a couple years ago in Monticello, and they had their dog, which is a great idea for camaraderie and just that home feel, because we're here a lot.
Yep.
I was doing the filming, walking through, and I closed the door, and the dog just kind of stood behind a glass door and stared at us the whole time.
I almost brought my dog in today, but he has a little bit of separation anxiety sometimes, so I'm like, we'll just kind of leave him at home for the day.
Fair enough.
It kind of brings the mood down in the station when you have bad days or whatever. Or sometimes when you have to have difficult conversations with employees, it's very easy to just kind of bring that entire mood down with a dog. So it's one thing that I was going to do, and it works out in our favor. So.
All right. What kind of dog is it?
It's a mini golden doodle, so he's about 30 pounds.
Okay.
So, yep, hypoallergenic, bunch of energy, and yeah, it's fun.
That's awesome. All right, now you have a conference room up here too, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Can we take a look at that?
Let's go. All right, so we do have a conference room in the facility as well that we use quite often, whether it be for our staff meetings or even we'll do some training in it sometimes as well.
Okay.
So it's got a really good view of the facility itself. It's got a good view of what's outside. And it's kind of got a lot of, I'm going to say, state-of-the-art stuff. We try to keep up to date on how things work and stuff. So,
sure, especially when the pandemic came around, we needed access to, the Zooms and that kind of stuff. And it looks like this definitely can handle those kind of issues.
Absolutely, yeah. So we can Zoom. We've got different whiteboards and stuff like that we can utilize. It's really kind of a nice facility that we have, and it's was kind of built in before the pandemic that we just kind of transitioned to utilizing as more of an IT type of conference room.
Sure. Now, we mentioned earlier that I can put an application in at the website and that kind of stuff. Do I need to have education before I get here? Do I need my Fire 1? Do I need my Fire 2 before I can apply?
So we will do both. If you live in our community, we typically will bring you on and put you through Firefighter 1 and 2. We, in previous years, have held the Fire Academy here. This year we held off, but I intend on bringing it back again next year, so it's all in-house. And then we work with our ambulance companies to do EMT basics. So we want to make sure they have EMT basics. So if you come from outside the community, to be quite frank with you, it doesn't matter. If you can get here when your shift starts, we'll hire you as a part-time employee.
Okay.
I have an employee from Traverse City that commutes down here for a couple shifts a week. And as long as you come in with your Firefighter 1 and 2 and your EMT, chances are, if you fit into our culture, we will hire you.
Okay. Do you guys normally do 24 72s, 90? What's your schedule?
So the full-timers are 3 on, 4 off. So 24-hour shifts on, off, on, and then 4 days off.
Okay.
And then part-timers can pick up either 12-hour shifts, 24-hour shifts. If there's an open day, I'll even take a guy that wants to come in for 8 hours, or a female wants to work 8 hours.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. All right, so that pretty much, we did the complete circle. We're back at Kathy up front.
Absolutely.
Now the downstairs is the house of the place.
That's where everybody works, yes.
Can we go see that?
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, so we're back down in the lobby to go into the operations side of the house.
I love that it's secured.
Absolutely.
Every house has to be secured.
Yeah, this is the chamber here that locks everybody in.
Yeah. and immediately we're meet with your expectations and stuff. I love the mural on the wall.
Absolutely. So one of the things that our members did when I first came in, I sat down with everybody, and it was, how do we get consistent expectations? How do we get what our shared values system is here? And then how do we brand it? And so we work with a sign company to help us do all the above. And so at this station, it's right when they come in the morning, and the same thing at the other station. It's the same thing. It's our brand. And it came from the members. It didn't come from me. I just kind of facilitated it, which is kind of unique.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome. And
absolutely.
it covers everything: integrity, consistency, ethics, and leadership, the whole 9 yards.
Absolutely. I think the most important one is the customer-centric engagement. Without the customers, our members out in the community, we wouldn't be here.
Sure,
So
sure.
it's kind of unique that that's what was one of the ones that our team came up with.
That's awesome.
So come on.
You got a nice display coming right down in.
Absolutely. Some of our stuff that's been a history for us in particular is all in here. It's one of those things that we'll eventually get around to. I want to put basically in order of time frame.
Sure.
But yeah, everything in here came from someplace in this building or in one of the other facilities that we had when we transitioned over.
Right,
So
right.
medical supplies to
Those I
fire
remember.
supplies. Absolutely,
The old
right.
suction units and BVM.
Absolutely. And then sometimes members will drop stuff off too for memorabilia for us. So we want to make sure that we showcase all that stuff too.
Right, right. You need some of the old Life Pack 5s or maybe even the mask pants.
Yeah, big old mouse. Yes. I need a bigger room, I think.
Right, right.
All right, so as we transition from the entryway, we come into we call our day room. So this is part of our living room area, as well as our kitchen and dining room area. And as you'll see, there's nobody in here because they're working, right?
Right, right.
Downtime typically doesn't start until 5 o'clock, or for about an hour, they'll come in here for lunch or whatever they need to do. But yeah, this is the downtime area.
Yeah, the one thing that I noticed is you have a full kitchen, because it's very important for us. You know, we're here for 24-hour shifts. You have to have the ability to cook. You know, going out isn't always the best thing for us. So, you know, having the ability to cook and sit around a kitchen table is pretty cool to see.
Yeah, one of the things we pride ourselves in is staying mentally and healthy and all the above, right? It's what you put in your mouth, it's what you eat. And so the crews do tend to cook here a lot together as a team. And it's also neat that they're able to sit together at the kitchen table. If you watch fire shows, that's probably the only thing that's normal in the fire shows is what happens at the kitchen table, just the conversations and, hey, what's going on with you? How's your family doing? And just kind of a little bit of bantering back and forth is a little bit healthy. It keeps the camaraderie up and the morale.
Right. And many times the world's problems are solved around the kitchen table.
Absolutely, absolutely they are, yes.
This is nice. I love the fact that you have the big television to kind of relax. You got nice recliners, and it's an open concept. No one feels kind of shut off from each other. It's all open for everybody to.
Absolutely. So it's interesting when we're bringing in different generations. We can see the generational gap where a lot of the younger generation kind of want to just do their own thing. And an open concept like this is they can do their own thing while still being part of the team that wants to maybe get together, which is kind of unique. I like that.
Right. So after this, you said you're 24-hour shifts. Where are your bunks?
Our bunks are back this way.
Okay. Love the patch wall. Many of our fans do patch collection.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to ask you, I'm kind of putting you on the spot a little bit, maybe, do you guys either sell or offer these to people that are interested in patches?
Yeah, we have old patches that we do. If someone's going out on a trip or something, one of our employees might take a couple patches with them. A lot of times they'll take them off their own shirts and share them. And so we'll get phone calls as well. Hey, do you have a patch? We'll send you a patch. We have a couple of them from other countries. Don't ask me what countries they're from, but from other countries, we'll have them up here as well. We've had members visit us from other countries and share patches, which is kind of cool. So,
right.
And then same thing with other Plainfield departments. Like that's not our patch, that's another Plainfield, which is kind of cool. So it's kind of unique to have different departments up there.
Yeah, that's cool. I love seeing that. That definitely brings it back to the people that work here.
Absolutely, absolutely. So come on this way.
All right.
So as we walk down here, this is another, I'm going to say it, our showcase, our branding of what it is that we do in the organization. So as I mentioned, we have firefighters, we have equipment operators, we have line officers, chief officers, and then the executive officers. And one of the things that we wanted to make sure everybody knew is what's specifically expected of them. How do we guide them into what we really need them to do? And all these things came from our employees. So one of the things that they wanted from the fire chief, the executive chief, was to be present, be around once in a while.
Sure.
They also wanted me to invest in them as employees. So it's a good reminder. Again, it's out there, it's forward facing, so all our members know specifically what we expect of them, and they can walk by it every day and have conversations, and it's a good conversation.
I really like this, and I'm hoping, I just got promoted to lieutenant at my company. I may steal this from you if that's okay, because this
Absolutely.
is an excellent idea. Because many of them are like, what do they do? Who do I go to? What do I need to do? This kind of lays it all out in an open forum.
Absolutely. Policies have gray areas. They're tentative gray areas, and if we give them what we expect of them, then hopefully they can manage those gray areas very well.
This is awesome.
So
So what's your kind of coverage area?
36 square miles within
Okay.
Plainfield Township. We have a river. It's called the Grand River that cuts us in half, basically. So Station 1's on the north side. Station 3 is on the south side.
Okay.
It used to be Station 1 was the busy or the slow station. They had all the like farmland and all that. Station 3 was the more commercialized, more densely populated area. So Station 3, the one we're in, ran more calls.
Sure.
Hence bigger. It's got more equipment in it. We've just recently transitioned now where Station 1 is the busiest because they've got more of the growth that's happening in the community that just is happening around Grand Rapids.
Right,
and
right.
whole.
We're getting a ton of those pop up 55 and older communities and
Yes,
all those kind
absolutely.
of things. So
Yeah, we've got the large buildings that you know, the retirement facilities, and we're very, as I mentioned, data driven. So I could tell you how many more calls each one of those facilities are going to bring us. But
right.
yes, we try to get ahead of the game on that. But yeah, this is now the slow station, if you can believe it. But the other station is the busy one. So
And this goes right into your bunk.
this goes into the bunk room. Yep. So we are very open bunk concept.
Okay.
So each person is provided their own bunk here, which is unique. A lot of stations they hot swap, they call
Yep.
it, or they share bunks.
Yep.
Everybody here gets their own bunk, and it's like I said, it's an open concept room. So lieutenants and equipment operators and even our part-time firefighters have bunks in here.
That's
So
nice. Yeah.
there's 6 total bunks.
Yeah, this is a concept that we kind of saw when we went to Kentwood. They kind of had an open concept with half walls too.
Yes.
So it kind of gives you the privacy, but it reminds me of the old Emergency show, you know, that's coming back on, you know,
Yes.
Prime, where they kind of sleep in that same room and you all get up and go to the call
Absolutely,
together.
yep. It's nice because sometimes you might miss the tones going off, and if you know someone's not walking up behind you, you can wake them up on the way. You know,
Right.
it happens to everybody.
Yeah,
So
yeah. But the building design, whoever did this for you did a great design itself, because I've seen them where they're up top and then the administration's on the bottom, and then you got to navigate stairs during the
Yes.
nighttime. But having this on the lower level that goes right out to the apparatus bay is a really good design for a quick response.
yeah, every one of the rooms that we were in already today, it goes right out to the bay. So response times matter for us to get to the community. That's what their expectations are, is that we respond quickly to get whatever the emergency they may or may not have. You know, so
Right, right.
everything that goes, it goes right out to the bay, which is unique. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah. This is really nice. But with the one thing that you lack when that happens is we no longer have fire poles. You
Right,
go out.
right. Yeah, we don't want people getting hurt. You know.
Right, right. And then you have ability to do workouts and stuff here too, right? You have a equipment room.
Absolutely. So we require our firefighters when they're on shift to work out at least 1 hour every single day. We have equipment here, as well as we also give them gym memberships when they're off. So
Okay.
as I mentioned before, it's very important for us to make sure that our firefighters are healthy for the community. So it's about how we eat. So we provide them some guidance on that, as well as provide them an opportunity to work out. And it's actually a mandatory thing. So this is, in this room right here would be our gym facility.
Okay. Wow, you got everything that you need to. Basically
Absolutely.
A mini Planet Fitness.
Yeah, many Planet Fitness, absolutely. So firefighters have asked for certain things, and we make sure that we provide it to them. So everything in here they've asked for, it's either been donated or we found money to make it happen.
Right.
And one of the things I found is if the firefighters want it and they have some insight into developing or creating it, they will actually use it. So this right here, our firefighters created,
Right.
which I think is kind of unique. It's just, you don't see it everywhere. They don't have as much luxury as what we have, so we don't take it for granted. But
Yeah,
we got
yeah.
a lot of good stuff here.
I love the fact that even the administration says, hey, health, both physically and mentally health is important, and you guys incorporate that into their shift, allowing them to work out for an hour
Absolutely.
or whatever. I've gone across many volunteers or even paid companies that are like, well, we're too busy, you can't do that, you got to do that on your own time. You guys are actually saying, hey, no, let's go ahead and take that hour and do a
Absolutely.
workout.
Yeah, our priorities are training and working out is number 1 and number 2. And then making sure that your rig's good for the community has to be ready to go. So they'll be out checking trucks. I think they just got back. They'll be checking trucks, I'm sure. And then our life safety program is big too. So making sure that we're out in the community trying to do the preventative stuff. So
This
those
is
are our priorities.
absolutely awesome. I appreciate you, like I said, opening the doors and letting us come in. It's been about a year since the first person reached out. I think his name was Tim online, says, hey, I'm in the community. These guys are really cool. Come see them. So I appreciate
You waited a year too long. So one of the good things we have here too is how as you mentioned, the facility was designed. We have lots of bathrooms. It's good and it's bad. They spend a lot of time cleaning bathrooms. But when we look in, we'll look at this bathroom right here. It's huge. It's designed with a shower in it. It's designed with a restroom in it as well. And each person can take one when they come in on shift. We have 3 people on shift, and we've got 4 large bathrooms like this. So it gives them an opportunity, again, to have their own home. Which is important, and they can use it as they see fit.
Right. And the one thing that I've always, I get pretty sweaty when I work out, and I don't want to get back in my uniform, and even sliding into my bunker pants when you're all sweaty is difficult.
Yes,
so having a nice shower facility is to dry off and clean up is very important, and a huge locker room.
Yeah, monster locker room. I'd like to say every locker is full, but we still have some open lockers. So if there are any viewers that are looking for a part-time job, we're more than happy to take you on. So yeah, very large locker room here. We're like I said, we're blessed for the facility that we have and the space that we have, because that's not everywhere.
Right. So we've made it through the house. We have an apparatus bay to see, and it was large from what I could tell from upstairs.
Very large apparatus bay.
Can we take a look at some of the stuff out there?
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, so our apparatus bay, as I mentioned, is easily accessible from every single door or room we have in here.
Yep.
And so as we come out here, we've got a multitude of trucks and equipment and turnout gear.
Huge.
Got guys actually working. They're cleaning my truck. Thank you, by the way.
There you
Perfect
go.
timing. So how we operate here, as I mentioned, we've got 3 people on duty all the time. So we call our mini trucks. It's a squad. It's not like a typical squad in a bigger city where it's like a big engine.
Right.
It's specifically designed for medicals, that if they have a fire call, they can actually run a fire call with it.
So that's got a pump on it, and it's got some hose and stuff like that.
It does, yes. I think it's 1,000 gallons a minute pump with probably about 250, 300 gallons of water once it splashes around. So
sure.
I've actually had a couple significantly sized house fires where we've run with that truck. That truck is good enough for a room and contents, or even 2 room and contents fires. So
right.
it does work out well. And then we jump trucks. So if we actually get a structure fire call or even a car accident, they'll get off that truck and go on to this truck over here, which is a multi-purpose truck. We don't have the luxury of having 30 people on.
Sure.
So it runs car accidents, car fires, structure fires, and then it can also run medicals. They're both set up with EMTs.
Okay. So a lot of people will call that a rescue pumper or something.
That's basically the same concept, yes.
Yeah.
So,
and then right next to it, it looks like you have a tower or a ladder.
Yes, we have a 95-foot platform truck right next to it. And again, depending on what it is, they might jump over to that truck. So this station kind of has the misfortune of having to jump from truck to truck to truck, but it's how it operates, and it works well for us. So.
Yeah. And then the open concept of having all your gear out makes it easy to get into it really quickly too.
Absolutely. So if we were to do it all over again, we were to build another station, the new station would have its own bay just for gear to keep it out of all the contents, the sun and all that. But yeah, it is nice that all their gear is open here. They can grab what they need. We're actually transitioning from utilizing structure gear for everything to a cleaner concept type gear. So if it's not a structure or a fire call, they actually get in a lighter set of gear.
Okay.
So now they're carrying 2 sets of gears, but it's cancer free. It's a little bit nicer, and again, it's healthy, right? That's what we want for our firefighters.
Yeah, I love that you're, again, thinking ahead of the game. You're not waiting for something to happen, someone to get cancer, and now we're fighting it. You're going, you know what? We know this stuff is going on. We know that hot, cold, and warm zones are a thing. Maybe later we can take care of that, but let's do what we can, and give them 2 sets of gear is important.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you, our innovation comes from we get committees together and groups together to talk about what's going on and actually split that workload out a little bit. So quite frankly, it's not me making the decisions. It's nice I got teams that are doing it for us. So I just give them the blessing.
Let's walk across, and you got some stuff on the other side too, right?
Absolutely. So as I mentioned, this is just a smaller truck. It's like I said, 1,000 gallons a minute truck, real small, mini pumpers, what they call them.
Yeah.
And we'll run 3 people in these. When we originally went to them, they were kind of like uncertain because we're going away from running an engine all the time.
Yeah.
It has proven to be more cost effective.
Okay.
And quite frankly, the firefighters love it because you're not getting in and out of these larger trucks all the time. It's easier on your backs.
Yeah.
So they really actually kind of enjoy the smaller equipment for the smaller calls.
Yeah, so this was an F550.
F550, it was custom built by Rosenbauer for us.
Okay.
And The other station has the identical truck, so sister truck to this. They run the same way. They have a squad and then another engine. That's all they have at the other station. And
Okay.
same thing, they'll jump back and forth depending on the call.
Sure.
And so it's kind of unique. And they're going to bring the other engine over here to take a look at later today.
So the viewers that are staying with us until then, what we're going to do is do a station rigs on that vehicle in a little bit. So make sure that you subscribe, hit notification, because we're going to bring that to you in another video.
As you mentioned, and as we saw, we have an engine right here. This is basically run-of-the-mill. You go to a structure fire, everybody jumps on board the engine. It's 1,750 gallon minute pump, and it has about 750 gallons in it.
Okay.
So most of our area is hydranted, so we don't have to worry a whole lot about bringing in tenders to bring us water. We've got the water with us, and we can hook up to the hydrants pretty quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So as I was coming up here, I noticed that you're kind of in the parking lot of the Lowe's and a lot of industrial stuff. What are your coverage areas? You mentioned farmland before. Is it a mix of rural, farm, and industrial?
it's all the above. We've got industrial, we've got tight-knit communities, we've got multi-million-dollar homes on golf courses, we've got new developments going in. Plainfield Township is a growing community that has a lot of dynamics, a lot of close-knit apartment complexes as well. So yeah, there's a lot of different dynamics. The culture and the community dynamics is pretty neat and unique for us.
Yeah, and that's also fun as a worker because you're not stuck with one kind of call all the time.
Absolutely.
You get that variety, and for me, that's attractive. You know?
Absolutely.
So, and then let's take a look at your platform.
Yeah, so this is a 1993 platform. We're actually working at trying to do a needs assessment on what is it that we need to replace this truck.
Okay.
It's $2 million at this point. Maybe by the time we get to replacing it in the next couple of years, it's going to be north of $2 million.
Sure.
But yeah, it is time for us to replace this. It was refurbed about 10 years ago. So basically new paint, fixed up the things that needed to be fixed up. And so it's seen its lifetime, and it is time to replace it.
Right.
As I said, it's 95 foot. It's a beautiful truck, but it's lived its days.
Sure. But I mean, one thing that this is a 93. I look at this and it still looks fairly new.
Yes.
That's the testament to what you guys are doing and what your staff is doing and how well they take care of their equipment.
Absolutely.
This equipment is often given to us from the townships and the taxpayers.
Correct.
And it's up to us as providers to take care of the equipment that's given. A 1993 looks brand new.
It's brand new, yes. So our engines, we're replacing this one currently right now. The cost to replace this engine is $826,000. The cost to replace this ladder truck, like I said, it will be probably north of $2 million.
Right.
All coming from the taxpayers. It's their equipment, and so our value system says we need to make sure that we maintain it well for our community that's operating.
Yeah, and anybody that comes in, whether you're in the public or not, and you stop by, you're going to see these things are top-notch stuff.
In the summertime, the doors are open, and I tell everybody if the doors are open, stop in and say hi. That's your equipment. Take a look at it, and a lot of people will take us up on that offer. It's cool seeing trucks drive by with kids hanging out the window, and it's, come in and take a look at the fire trucks. They love seeing it.
Right, right. Now, I noticed you had a Rosenbauer for the
Correct.
550, Rosenbauer for the engine. This one is
This is an E1.
okay. And what's over here on this side of the apparatus bay?
So we've got our maintenance facility over here. We've got an air room for all of our SCBAs, so our self-contained breathing apparatus.
Okay. So you don't have to send them out to get refilled or anything, or
Nope,
cleaned and maintained. You can do that
all of
here.
our own stuff to do
awesome.
that in here. So, and then over there around the exit is kind of like a room that has like refreshments and stuff. So we've got fridges for water. So if we have a fire, someone can come in and grab some stuff.
Okay. Almost like rehab equipment then.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
And it's a free space to put stuff. That's
Sure.
what I found too. So. And then up on the mezzanine up above is all our extra turnout gear and stuff. So we can look at the maintenance room here real quick.
This is one of my favorite rooms. I'm a mechanic by trade. I went to the Kent Trade Center, or
Kent
Tech
Career
Center.
Tech Center, I gotcha.
Yeah, going through high school. So
Absolutely. So any projects that might be going on might be laying on the counter over here. So we're currently working on a couple of saws, it looks like. We're, again, going from the old traditional way of doing things and looking at, well, what do we have that's battery operated out there that can help us out? We know there's not the same power sometimes, so one truck might have the gas equipment, while all of our, I'm going to say our smaller trucks or the engines that are multi-purpose will have battery operated equipment.
Right, yeah. Love it. Set up exactly what you need.
Any tool that they need, like I said, we're very blessed here. If we need something, we have it, which is from traveling the state and even the country, not all departments have that.
Yeah, they struggle. A lot of them guys send them out and then they're out for a week or two and
Right.
trying to get it all back and organizing for a replacement, or they got to carry extra stuff. having the ability and the facility to take care of your own equipment is huge.
Absolutely.
And now next door, you had another building. That's a training center building.
That is a training facility, and we'll take a look over there if you'd like to.
Okay. Why don't we save that for our other video? We're going to go ahead and do a station rigs, and then we're going to do take a look at their training center. So make sure you hit that subscribe, hit that notification so you don't miss anything. We'll step back out, and we'll thank you for your service. Chief, thank you so much for taking us around.
Problem.
Really appreciate you taking your time out of your day. We hate to bother people, but we definitely want to take a look. So the fans will be glad to see they got to come in the house. So.
I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to showcase what we're doing at Plainfield Township.
So
thank you.
Once again, this was Heroes Next Door with Plainfield Township out of Michigan. Do us a favor, hit that subscribe, hit that notification, smash those like buttons, and make some comments below. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you again next week. If you paid attention, we just did a video on Plainfield Fire Department Station number 3, and we were talking with the chief. But we have a special event for you because we're going to take a look at their training center. And that's right across the street, right, Chief?
Same parking lot, same campus.
All right, let's go take a look.